This is just incredible. I cannot believe how well we have got. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name's CLFurlong, and I'm all about running, reselling, lifestyle, and everything in between. And here we are for June 2021. The progress, the numbers, the financial report, how we have done for numbers. And as I just said before, I'm absolutely just blown away by how we continue to charge up, and there's a lot to dive into this one. We're going to go through obviously some of the top items that sold, some of the flops, the lessons, the things that I'm focusing on, and of course all the data behind it all. So let's get into the June 2021 results of what's selling on eBay. Okay, so straight in, and I'm sorry, I've been going through these numbers, getting all this ready, and I'm just feeling, I'm feeling totally amazed and blown away by it, but it's just exciting to see things turning around and moving in the direction that obviously I want them to be, and it's coming from a lot of hard work, and I want to share this journey with you because this is more than possible for anyone to achieve, with obviously the right approach and mentality. So we'll touch on that shortly. So June 2021, and I do apologize for those crickets and frogs outside. It's just the way it is. All right, so June 2021, we have sold 103 items, which is up from 84 from last month. We've done a total cost of items for this month was $836, an average cost of goods around $8 mark, or $8.12. So we're actually up by $2, which is fine. I mean, we've continued to progress really well, and I'll dive into that shortly. Now, in terms of total revenue, we've done our biggest month, which is $3,815. We're up by 5.6%. In terms of averages, though, we are down by $5 roughly. So we're sitting around that $37 mark. Last month, we were about $43. Around that 37 now. It's still a very good number to be at for an average sale price. So total fees and posts combined, we're sitting at $1,128. So average being around $10.96 per sale, which has come down by about $5. Now, this to consider, it depends on the item you're selling as well. Obviously the fee can be a little less, and your postage is going to be a little less as well. So keeping that in mind, however, it's always nice to see some positive numbers. Total profit for this month being the best month once again, $1,850. Now this is also an increase, obviously, so there's lots of positives in this month. And margin, however, has come down slightly by about 0.9% or just shy of a percent. So ups and downs all over the place, but obviously it's been a huge month. It's been a great month. It's been my best month, and we're going to dive into the details behind it. So really, I mean, this is another detailed dashboard of what's kind of happened in the month in terms of categories, what's been selling, where the costs are, where the profits are, and what's driving this through. So as I mentioned, total sold 103 items, and you can see totals, and then you've got the averages underneath. And I do apologize if anything didn't add up and if I've made a mistake, but from vetting this looks about right. Now, where, as I said, sales 385, averaging around that 37 per sale. Postage cost is around $5.37, so I did hit band for this month, which means that cost has come down. And I did have a lot of DVD sales as well, which has enabled me to have that cost come down, or some smaller sales, some smaller items which I've been able to put into the medium tracking envelope, which makes a huge difference. Fees also coming down. Profit still pretty close to our average of around $18. So pretty happy with that. Now, if you jump down below, and you can see where are the revenues coming from and where are the profits coming from. So this month, profit has come from purely books. $485 is coming from the books category, with the revenue being $1,000 as well. So that's the main category that I've sold in this month. It wasn't planned that way. It's just what's been selling the most. However, what's interesting is the next round of profits has come from toys. $339 of profit has come from toys, but the revenue was only almost half of what I've done in books. So that's very interesting as well. But I've had 19 sales. Cost of goods a bit less, of course. So very interesting to see how this has gone, because sometimes, and this is why I actually encourage people to just always have a look at what's working, what's not working. Now, if you're doing a niche store, obviously some of this doesn't apply. But if you're doing a broad store, having the different range of high ticket items, low ticket items, bread and butter items, things that are going to sell maybe not every single day, but once a month, and you get that $150, $200, $300, that's when things just make the magic really happen. it's what's working really well for me. As you can see, I've got 30 books, but I've got 7 bric-a-brac, which is like, cups and mugs. Clothes, I've sold 15 clothes. Collectibles, there's 5. DVDs, I've done 12. And then I've had a few different things like electronics, hats, shoes, toys obviously being up there, and video games as well. So huge variety, and it's starting to pay off of those things. Now, at the same time, and we'll talk about that shortly, is around the listings. Listings has been helping this as well. So quickly jumping into the top 5 sold items for this month. Now, a lot of you probably have seen this across the previous, what sold videos, but I've just rounded it out in a nice one pager. So awesome stuff. And what I want to be very clear here is that you can see I've got a big range of items here in terms of cost profiles. I've got items that didn't cost me anything because they're things that I've thrifted from home, or things that that I've had from years ago or something. So there's no direct cost to the business. So we've had the camera, we've had the Wii, which I paid $80 for, yet I was able to get a profit of $81 as well. And just jumping across, you can see on screen, but McLeod's Daughters, something I paid $40 for and was able to flip it for $150. I've got Agatha Christie books, which I was able to purchase for $35, sell for $140. And then I've got a lightsaber that I purchased for $2 and sold it for $80. So as you can see there, good range of different items, being books and video games, and I've got the toys and I've got the collectibles. So good range. You can see the profits down below. You can see what I sold them at, and you can see the costs. It just goes to show there is a lot of things happening in a lot of different categories that could be working well for you too. Now, in terms of cool items for this month, 2 things that really popped out for me is these Team Fortress 2 t-shirts. Now, I sold this as a lot, as a bundle, and they actually went all the way over to Hawaii. I did do a short little snippet of this in one of my videos. Went over to Hawaii, they paid postage international, and it was cool to see these go. If anyone's played Team Fortress 2, let me know in the comments below, because I used to play it back in high school. Now, the other cool item was the pins lot that I did this month. Now, I took a gamble on this, purchased the pins, as you can see the picture, for $20, and there was about 152 pins in there. I have now sold 80% of those in June alone, with a total revenue of $70, which is just crazy. So I've made my money back and some. And one pin alone I sold for $25, which meant I got all my profit back straight away. So this is starting to show to be very, very, very good. And I've also sold another 27 of the pins for, I think it was $25 plus $9 postage just in July now. So this has almost made me $100 in revenue, which is just crazy. Flops for this month. Look, to be honest, it's been a pretty solid month, and that makes me nervous because I feel like something's going to break, something's going to crack. But hey, it's all going to happen to us. There's always going to be waves of ups and downs. But I did have 3 items with a loss, and I think it's something to be mindful of. 1 game, 1 sweater, 1 shirt, a few different things that I didn't know much about, also things that have been sitting around for months. And I'm talking, I think it was the sweater. I have had that since I opened my store. So took a while. I had a few refunds coming back on that same sweater. It's just a sweater that just did not want to go. So they're not really bad flops, but just lots of little lessons there. Some things that have worked, some things that I've probably purchased just by buying too much. But at the same time, you need to remember that sometimes just having turnover of stock, even if you are not making the big dollars on it, it does help just with the store and the stats and things like that. So it's been a pretty good month. I'm not going to lie. It's actually been really, really good. So wins and lessons, all that jazz. Wins this month, listings, which we're going to touch on very soon. But I took the challenge, as accountability challenge, with the 2 Aussie thrifters to up my listings. And I've gone from doing dailies of 7, daily to 10s, daily to 15s. And it is working like a charm. Sales are up. Traffic is up. Things it's all starting to compound. Now, this hasn't necessarily shown purely in June. I'm almost second week into July, and I'm second week into July, and now it's starting to happen. So small little spoiler is today is the 6th of July, and I have had 11 sales today. I think it's 11 or 10, which is my biggest sales day ever, which is just crazy. So the listings is paying off. Best month yet, obviously that's a huge win. What I haven't mentioned here is AusPost Band 4. I did hit that finally with the consistency of listing all the sales as well. And then the other win is just, coming back to knowing what I'm quite capable of, and that is the consistency part. And if you put your head to it, you put your mind to it, get in a good process, get in a good system, you can make this happen. And I think that's where the lessons have really come into play this month is you are in control. right? You need to dictate whether it's your morning ritual, whether it's the afternoon ritual, day ritual, whatever it is. When is your zone? Find your zone and take action and take control and get it done. If you want to have a goal of doing 5 listings per day, find a way to get those 5 listings per day. And what's worked for me really is removing friction points, finding when I'm best capable of doing these listings, and making sure I'm preparing ahead of it. And I touched this on my recent video as well. And of course, if you've got questions, more than happy to answer. But that's really been the lessons, and now I'm starting to reap those rewards early into July month as well. The other one is profit first and preparation for FY22. So I'm actually going to talk about this in a complete different page all by itself. But I've been testing things out this month, June that is, ahead of FY22, and things have been going really, really well. So lots of lessons, lots of things that I'm learning along the way. So listings, daily listings. This month has been my biggest month of listings. June, I did 282 listings. Last month, I did 138. When I say last month, May. Month before that was 147. March was 177. And what was even close to this was Feb, which was 230. And sales have progressively continued to go up in terms of counts. Not necessarily huge value, but it'll be interesting to see how July plays out. So stay tuned to find out. So year-to-date results, how are we tracking from an overall perspective? Well, this is where it gets interesting because, we started off Jan, Feb, which, they were some good months. They were the early days. March then took off, April dropped, and then May and June have just continued to grow. So a bit of a snowball effect. But I'll let you look at the numbers yourself. But jumping down the bottom, we're now done total 329 sales, averaging 72 per month. Cost of goods are around $6.89, and I do share that because some months it's been really high, some months it's been really low, but the stuff that I'm selling, it just goes to show you can pay up and get some good results. Sales still averaging around that $39 mark, which is pretty good because my margin is operating around 47%, which means if I'm selling for $40, pretty much guaranteed to take home just shy of $20 into the pocket. Postage has started to come down once again. As you can see, it's down big time this month. And fees are also down, well, not necessarily down, but just averaging out, which they won't change too much really. And profit from an average perspective, it's pretty average. But margin also, 48.5%, so not too bad. This has just been wild. It's been crazy, super great. I'm overwhelmed. It's even just as I'm doing this, I've had some really great stuff happening in July already. And once again, I'm not here to say that look at me, but I've put in the work, and it makes me think, why didn't I do even more of a hustle earlier? But sometimes it takes us a little bit just to warm up, get into a groove, and then we click. It's like when you're losing weight, all of a sudden you click and you want to lose weight. Whether it's from frustration, someone, really, really does give you that confrontation, or maybe you get a bit of a scare. So it makes you want to make an effort to make a change, and making this small little change, as you can see, it's starting to pay off. So I did mention that I am wanting to have some focus points for FY22 and Profit First. Now, let's just jump straight onto Profit First. Profit First is a book, right? It's all about transforming your business from a cash-eating monster basically into a money-making machine. Now, it all sounds very airy-fairy, whatever you want to say. But really, I've got an example here on the side, and this is just an example. Let's say you get paid from eBay after, fees and whatnot, an income of $865. This is just a random week. Well, Profit First takes you through a process of setting up some different accounts and some different, splitting percentages to enable you of where you're in your business and what makes sense. Now, OPEX being operating expenses, every time I get paid, 49% goes into that account. 5% goes into profits, which is for a quarterly dividend or bonus to the owner, which is myself, and 31% is owner's pay, and that goes to me also, so making sure that I'm taking a salary. And then tax, 15% is, and the reason why 15%, because obviously you're going to have expenses that you can offset the tax, 15% is going into that account to ensure I've got tax amount ready to pay when it comes to tax time, if I have to pay any tax. So super important. Now, the book, once again, this is just an example. This is a point in time. This isn't the answer what you need to be doing. You need to read the book, apply it to your own business in your own manner. But it really does it's a game changer. We are in a business where we're always paying up front, and in order to make money, we need to spend money. So this really ensures that my operating budget, $424, let's say I got paid $865, $424 is going to need to last me for my postage, for my cost of goods, for my, supplies, whatever it may be, until my next payday. That ensures that I'm sourcing, I guess, in a way which is enabling me to be mindful and not aggressive for the sake of just doing it, but also making sure that I'm managing my expenses. Do I need things? Do I not need things? And all that jazz. So go listen or read Profit First. The other thing I'm focusing on for FY22 is business operations. So this view that I talk about and share here, this is more of an on-paper view, meaning when I buy an item, what did I sell it for? What did the post cost? But in a business world, obviously, there's more expenses. There's, fuel, there's your car, there's, different office expenses, printing supplies, printer, whatever. I'm also tracking it from that perspective. And that was one of the lessons that I wasn't really applying in FY21 because I was getting into it. So I will be focusing on, making sure I'm capturing all expenses, making sure I'm understanding my cash flow, stock flow, things that are coming in and out, and really making sure that I'm on top of that and I'm not leaving it to the last minute. And I'll try and share more and more of that to help you get a better understanding because, if you are doing this as a part-time gig, it's probably not super crucial. But if you're trying to do this and make more of a full-time income from it, yeah, you need to be taking into account some of the different expenses because you can eat them up quite well. And the reason why I say this is I got to the end of June, I've done good amount of dollars, which you've seen in the previous slide. By the end of June, I'd done $17,000 in revenue, which meant I should have had about $8,000 in the bank. Nope. You look at the bank, you're like, where's the money? Where's the cash? It's because it's all tied up in stock. It's tied up in things that you've spent on, expenses, all that jazz. And you don't actually have the cash in the bank. So Profit First enables that. And also the business, managing your business in a way to ensure that you do have stock flow, cash flow, and you're managing all the expenses helps you understand, can you actually afford this? So can't harp on that enough. The third thing is consistency, listing and quality. So I need to keep building this momentum on the listings, but if you are trying to achieve listings daily, whether it's 10, 5, 15, 20, 30, whatever it is, do not fall short of managing quality. Because if you start just trying to get listings up for the sake of it, but you're not managing quality, that's when mistakes will come in. So just be mindful of that. Well, that's it, folks. I really hope this has covered everything you want to know. If you've got questions, if you've got concerns, thoughts, opinions, whatever, do let me know. More than happy to answer. I do my weekly videos where I do my what sold and try to answer a question or two. Now, going ahead, what's coming? So I'm going to continue to do these monthly reports, continue to do, obviously, my thrifting videos, and continue to do my what sold, but I will try and spice it up, juggle it up, and, provide a bit more of an insight of things that I'm doing, why I'm approaching different ways, stuff that I'm talking about here, for instance, but also in the actual thrifting world as well. So if I'm going out, what am I looking for? Why am I looking for it? How would I approach this? And just to give a bit more of a, my perspective on things rather than just like what sold, or progress, but a bit more on the meat and how you can, maybe apply something that I would do or how I apply myself to different scenarios. So we'll be working on a few of those things. Also, I want to take you through a whole bunch of different data that I've been tracking over the last 6 months and see if it helps you really see things that are working, things that aren't, from my, scenario or examples, and see how you can apply it for yourself. June, it's been a massive month, super exciting, super overwhelming, to be honest. And you can see right here, I've got this vintage voltage box. Now, if you're listening to this as it comes out, I'm not quite at 1,000 subscribers, but I am very, 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 very close. 973 at this point in time. And once I hit 1,000, I've got to get past 1,000, but once I get 1,000, I will be sending out some details of how you can sign up for a giveaway, get involved, get excited, because there will be obviously this guy, but a bunch of other things as well. And, that's to give back to you guys for all the support, all the love, all the encouragement. It means the world to me. So thank you very much. That's it, folks. That is June. Really, 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 really do appreciate you all being here, leaving comments, dropping by, hitting like, subscribing, all that jazz. It means the world to me, and I'll continue to show up and continue to do better, continue to show you things that I'm doing, things that aren't working, things that are working, all that jazz, because at the end of the day, I'm not here to show you or to make you think that I have all the answers. I'm here to give you my best example, my best approach, and what's working for me. And sometimes that means you may be able to learn from my mistakes, and you don't have to go through them yourself. So that's really my intent here. Plus, it's a lot of fun to just go on this journey and to see how far I've come, and I would hope you would apply the same. So, appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do the whole shebang, and hustle. Ciao.